Well, Rich, good morning. It's really nice to be on the phone with you. I just wanted to introduce myself. I'm Jake Valancourt. I'm a partner at 10X Engineered Materials. We're a manufacturer of superoxide alloy abrasives out of Wabash, Indiana.
Great, Jake. Thanks a lot. Appreciate the opportunity to speak to you this morning. And just a little bit about myself and my business. My name's Rich King. I have a small powder coat media blasting business in Lapeer, Michigan. It's ran by my son and myself. We've been in business for about going on 3 years. We've been blasting and powder coating prior to that about 2 years, but we just really kicked our business off probably within the last 18 to 24 months. And having said that, we do everything from custom work, commercial, industrial. We're too big to be small, but we're too small to be big is what I like to tell people. We see a variety of substrates come through weekly: aluminum, steel, magnesium, cold rolled, hot rolled steel, and every week is different. We got looking at 10X, I think when the product first came out, and some fellow coders of mine had told me, hey, you should look into 10X. It's a great product, low on dust, does a fantastic job. Price per is very, very comparable, if not better, to aluminum oxide, and much nicer to work with than the typical coal slag or glass. So tried it, got a sample of it, was really happy with it. And then I thought, boy, I just don't know, being a small business owner, if I can justify the price of this. So I tried order and went through that 200 pounds, used it. Boy, that's nice. It's so clean. It's such a breath of fresh air. Yeah, but, can we justify the price point? Can we justify the cost, etc.? So I kind of put it on the back shelf, and I went and I bought 200 to 500 pounds of coal slag. Went back, opened that first bag of coal slag, put it in the pressure pot, ran apart, and said, that's enough. Called up Jake and said, send me out a pallet of 10X. We're done with coal slag. I was sold. The ability to reclaim it multiple times, the cleanliness of it, the profile that it leaves, the anchoring etch that it gives us for our powder coat, I've just not been able to find anything even close to that. We've been using 10X ever since, and love it every day. Meets all of our needs. It's been a game changer for us, and I've used 10X now for going on 18 months. We've used coal slag, we've used glass, we've used crushed glass, we've used glass bead, we've used soda, we have used walnut shells, and we even had some steel shot that we used on a project. And I can unequivocally say that 10X just absolutely meets all of our needs for just about anything we're doing. But we're very happy with the product. It's been a game changer for us.
Oh, that's great to hear, Rich. Thank you. So how many cycles do you think you got out of our product?
So when we look at recycling of the media with our pot, and we use a 110-pound ALC pressure pot. Primarily, we have a large cabinet that we try to reclaim everything, because obviously reclaiming that media is both beneficial to us and it's timely. And we, on average, if we're running a set of wheels, let's say, or we're doing aluminum parts for the week, or we're doing typical ATV parts, we're getting a reclaim on, let's just say, a fresh 50-pound bag of media. We're getting 6, 8, upwards of 10 recycles on that 50-pound bag. And it's kind of like the Energizer Bunny. The media just keeps going and going and going, which is fantastic. I mean, it's absolutely fantastic. We can reclaim it, screen it real quick, back in the pot, and away we go, keeping our costs down, keeping our project moving along, and we're getting that awesome finish, that beautiful white, nice, clean aluminum or steel look that you expect to see on a freshly blasted piece.
That's great. So all in all, Would you say that the abrasive, although the price per pound is higher than the slags and the glass and whatnot, that your cost per square foot is actually lower?
When you look at the cost per foot based on 10X versus, a coal slag or a glass, crushed glass, there really is no real comparison because the ability to reclaim that 6, 8, 10 times off that 50 pounds, you can't get that out of coal slag. You can't get that out of glass. I mean, typical coal slag, once through the pot and done, especially if you're blasting that 70 PSI range, upwards of 90, heavy steel, heavy substrate, you're not going to be able to reclaim that. It hits the part, it fractures, it turns to mush. It's dusty, it's dirty, and you're not going to reclaim it. And if you do reclaim it, you've lost so much in the velocity and the impact. There's really nothing there. When you use that coal slag, it turns to silt. Once it's used once, it's done. So although people may say that it's cheaper, the coal slag is cheaper than the 10X, when you can recycle the 10X multiple times, and if you take the cost of, let's say, a bag of coal slag at $10 a bag, let's say, or $8 a bag, whatever you want to say, and if you look at that, if I use this one time and I have to recycle the pot or reload the pot 10 times, well, that's $100. If I say I've got a bag of 10X that costs me anywhere from 28 to 35 with landing costs, and I recycle that 10 times, well, the savings is there, obviously. You can see it. It's pretty simple. So the reclaiming facts speak for themselves when doing a price comparison between 10X, coal slag, or glass. I mean, it's a no-brainer for us.
That's great to hear. So what have you thought about how the product looks after you've blasted, and now you've put your powder, you put your Cerakote on there, or whatever other coating system you might be working with? A lot of our customers love that they get higher adhesion values. Have you guys seen any of that yet?
Right. When we go to look for adhesion from using 10X, typically on our powder coat project and our Cerakote project, we go back and we test. Of course, we do a MEC test, looking at our adhesion, our curability, and then a crosshatch also to make sure that we've got a good adhesion for our customer with either the Cerakote or powder coating. And the 10X gives us such a great profile. You look at it, and it's almost like a silver velvet when it comes out of the cabinet. I've had people say, "Is that powder coated already?" And I say, "No, that's just our profile. That's the profile that we get off 10X, and it's super clean. It's got a nice flow to it. We don't get a lot of high spots. It's taken our prep time and cut that down, because when you use coal slag or you use glass, in a lot of cases, that material, that media will embed into the substrate. So then we got to go through and we got to Scotch-Brite off. We've got to rewash it. We've got a bunch of other steps we have to do when we're using these other medias. When we use 10X, we're pretty much pull it out of the cabinet, air it off really good, obviously with clean, dry air, hang it, mask it, shoot it, and we've got a winner. The profile that's created with 10X is beautiful for adhesion, but yet it's not too aggressive where we're damaging the substrate or we have high spots that poke through once the powder coat is on and we look at our finish. We have a nice, even flow throughout the whole project without the typical pitfalls that we get with some of these other medias where we look and we see flaws in the finish where some coal slag got embedded and didn't get aired off, which can cause us to have to strip it and redo the project, start all over from scratch. Sometimes the coal slag also, it's dirty, and even after we've washed it and cleaned it, it leaves kind of a film or almost a residue that sometimes on lighter colored powders will bleed through, again, causing us to have to do a redo, a strip, and start all over. And of course, as you know, Jake, in business, we don't make dollars in profits when we're redoing projects and starting all over. We've just wasted a day's worth of work, time, materials, and we're starting back at square one. So it's helped us as far as having to redo projects that were the fault of substrate that did not get aired off, that was embedded into the material. We don't get that with 10X. We don't get that with 10X when we do our Cerakote projects. Same thing. Get that nice white, silvery finish. We have a consistent texture to the part. We air it off. It's good to go. We don't have to run acetone. We don't have to do any brake clean on it, whatnot. None of those things that you have to do when you're working with cold slag to clean the product. We're good to go. Air it off, shoot it, and everything is working the way it should be, and our equipment is on par. We've got a nice finished end result for our customer.
That's great to hear. So one of the benefits that a lot of people don't talk about or think about when they switch to a superoxaloy is safety, right? The product doesn't have any heavy metals in it. There's no silica. There's nothing in there that's going to hurt you. Obviously, you got to have eye protection because it is an abrasive with a lot of energy behind it. But outside of that, the product's really clean, totally safe. Did that go into your thinking when you looked at the abrasive or anything on safety?
When we look at the safety advantages of using 10X, again, kind of a no-brainer. I have my son working with me side by side, young man. His future is very important to me. His health is very important to me, just like all of my employees that help out either on a part-time basis or a full-time basis. So typically, we have, some protocols in place where when you blast, you wear a respirator, you wear safety goggles, you have to have, good gloves on, good protection, especially in the cabinet and whatnot. And then if we're blasting outdoors or something on a bigger project, same types of protocols. And it's summertime, it's hot, it's ugly, humidity, all those things that you get with blasting. And the last thing you want to have to fight is horrible dust, horrible irritation that these other products give off, meaning crushed glass, cold slag, all those things. They're dirty, they're nasty. The dust that it generates is just horrible. I mean, it's just horrible. 10X, we don't get that. 10X, we run it. It's clean. It's so minimal and so clean. My son or I, we wear a light respirator. We wear our glasses, and that's it. And we're not in a full helmet, fresh air respirator generated helmet that's needed when we would use some of these other products. It's nice. I mean, it's a joy, so to speak, to blast. I mean, a lot of guys in the industry hate blasting because it is so dirty. It is so obnoxious, the dust and the constant fighting of the, what am I looking at? It's so dusty. I can't see my part in the cabinet. Am I hitting the spots that I need this to hit? Did I redo this area and miss this area? We don't get that with 10X. With 10X, we get this nice low dust. It's just a light haze in the cabinet. Some people don't even think you're blasting because the byproduct or whatnot that's given off from the media is so minimal. And that's a big deal for us. Again, I want longevity for all my family and friends, of course, and people that work for us. And so that's a big consideration. I don't have to worry about silica issues. I don't have to worry about lung impact and cough. And my employee, 6 hours later after blasting, has got a swollen throat and runny nose, and his eyes are watering and stuff, all reactions that come from long days of blasting with coal slag or very dusty media products. So it's been, again, we can't say enough about how clean it is, and we really, really notice it when we do have that outdoor project or something and we have to use the coal slag, and the first words out of my son's mouth is, "Oh my gosh, this stuff is so dirty and filthy. I hate this stuff." Yeah, we'll give you my 10X back. So it definitely is a testament to the cleanliness and the, I guess you'd say, the easeability of using 10X.
Yeah. So it's a superoxaloy, right? And a superoxaloy inherently isn't going to embed. Those particles are not fracturing and embedding in the substrate, and that's part of why it's so recyclable and it's so clean, because those particles just bounce off, right? You can reuse them. One of the other benefits, though, is, right, it's a manufactured product. It's not mined. So, unlike garnet and some other minerals out there that are mined, we don't have any salts. We don't have any free iron, and we also don't embed. One of the benefits to that is we see really long blast hold times, or said another way, time from blasting to before you see it start to form a rust balloon. Has that helped your business at all, or have you guys noticed that before?
Yeah. When we look at typical blasting and blast profiles and what we're going to have to deal with, meaning for rust inhibiting of our substrate, we complete a part. And then typically when we were using some of these other products, we had to right away get that thing aired off, get it in either primer or get it shot in powder or Cerakote, whatever it was, because of flash rusting. Just like what you said, with the other dirtier medias, you don't have a window of opportunity to let that part sit on the shelf or wait till you've got a batch of products to be coated to go in the oven. You need to get on that typically within a couple hours, or it starts flash rusting on you. We don't have that with 10X. We, in fact, have done some projects and we've tested. We've taken some steel wheels of old farm machinery steel wheels, and we've put them in the blast cabinet, and we've blasted them ad hoc, meaning we would just have that in the cabinet as we were blasting other products, other substrates, and residual media hits that wheel. Sometimes it gets a little bit of blasting on it, sometimes it doesn't. But we've taken that wheel and we've had that in our cabinet for 6 months. And it's in the very corner, so it doesn't see any real residual blasting per se on it. We've had that wheel for 6 months in there, and we don't have a speck of flash rust on that old wheel. There's no way we could do that with some of the other medias, because that thing would be all rusted right back to where it started from, because of the oxidation of the minerals that are in those other medias. We don't get that with 10X. We did a project that my son was working on, cold rolled steel, blasted it about 2 weeks ago, pulled it out, did not blast the back side of it, just blasted the front side of it, put it on the shelf in our blasting building, and let it sit there. Yesterday, he went out and said, you know what, I'm going to coat this today, get this knocked out, and the piece looked absolutely just like he had got done blasting it 5 minutes ago. So, again, a testament to just how clean the 10X is, and that's savings, right? Because a lot of times we blast, and as we're blasting, we got other parts in the oven. We got to stop, and we got to do this. Or a customer shows up and they want to do this. And typically with our other medias, if we couldn't get that part coated that day after we had just blasted, the next day we were back repeating step one again and having to reblast, because overnight we'd gotten flash rust and it started to rust. So there we go again, going backwards, because we weren't able to complete that whole process on day one because of the media we were using. We had to go backwards, do that same project again, wasting time. 10X, shoot it, get it blasted. You know what? Okay, we're going to blast today. We're going to do all of our substrate today and blast. And tomorrow's going to be a day for coating. Oh, and we're going to coat all day tomorrow. We can do that with 10X. We can't do that with other medias. Again, it helps us out, planning our week out, allowing us to say, you know what? We don't have a real big load to go in the oven today, but we've got 2 other projects coming in Tuesday and Wednesday. So let's get stuff blasted on Monday and Tuesday. We'll wait. And then Thursday and Friday, we'll shoot powder or Cerakote, and we don't have to go back and reblast anything, because we know we're not going to get any flashing or any oxidation of our substrates that were blasted 3 to 4 days prior to coating.
Man, that's awesome. Well, that's good to hear. Rich, where can folks go to learn more about your business, and if they want to get, really good powder coating, really good Cerakoting in the area? Where should they check you out?
We're on Facebook. We have a Facebook page, Ragz to Riches Powder Coating and Media Blasting. We're on Google. You can Google us. We're in that Southeast Michigan. We're right kind of If you look at Michigan on the map, we're that little thumb, right in the middle of that thumb area is where we're located. We're on Instagram also. Ragz to Riches, powder coating and media blasting. You can just Google Ragz to Riches PC and we pop right up. We usually respond to all of our customers in a timely manner. Usually within a half hour, if you reach out to us, we can get a quote for you, either by the phone or through Messenger or email. We can get you taken care of and at least get you a quote. We try to always give our customers 100% satisfaction. No part leaves our shop that we wouldn't be proud to display on our vehicle or in our home or in our business. We're kind of a small guy, but to us, our customer service and our quality means much more than the job itself. I want repeat customers. I want people that will spread the word and say, hey, you know what? I went to a powder coater and this guy did a great job. He backed his product. It had to be 100%. He made it with 100%. He stood behind it. And knock on wood, we've been doing very well with all of our customers. We've not had any complaints. We have a ton of repeat business. Our business is just going up and up. We've been really going strong and seeing really exponential growth that I was not expecting myself.
Oh, that's great to hear. Well, I appreciate the time this morning, Rich. Thank you. And of course, man, next time you need some 10X, let me know. We'll take care of you. And I really appreciate this. This is so helpful.
Excellent. All right, Jake.
All right. Thanks, Rich.
Have a great day.